Hey, what's happening, people? This is Longhorn the comedian setting up for the B side chat. I haven't done a B side chat in quite a long time. I thought I'd bring it back tonight. I don't know. Somebody may pop in, maybe somebody will, maybe they won't. But I decided to do a B side chat because it's next to the last day of the month, the 27th of February. I'm here in my man cave home office doing what I do. Just finished our episode of Messages in the Madness and put it out to the masses. And I thank everybody who does watch that. That's actually been going for 2 years now. So, like I said, I'm kind of cool with that. I appreciate that very much. But I thought I'd do a B-side chat tonight. And what I wanted to post about was why I posted absolutely nothing for Black History Month. I didn't. And there's a reason for it. Of course, there's a reason. No, I don't have to explain myself to anybody, but I'll tell you why I didn't. I didn't post anything for Black history because, quite frankly, it's not just Black history, African American history. It's the history of this country, and quite frankly, just like we celebrate the history of everyone else all year long, I think that we should celebrate the accomplishments of Black people, African Americans, all the time, all year long as well, right along with everything else. People are talking about this thing about not putting what does it call it, critical race theory, or not talking about what has happened in this country as far as Black people and slavery and all those the things that are the truth, not teaching our children those things. I think that's just as I think that's even more tragic than lying to them. I think our children need to know the truth about our country, where it came from, how it began, and the people who have actually helped us, who actually built this country, helped build this country. Because I can't say Black people did it all by ourselves. There was other nationalities and other races that were part of that as well. But I think that this history should be taught. It should be talked about. It should be shared so that we can understand. Because see, if you don't understand your past, how can you really embrace your future? You really can't. So I just really believe that just talking about it in February is not enough. Then the other side of that is the reason I don't talk about it, or the reason I didn't post anything about it was it seems to me that all the worst parts of our history come out, and I'm so sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of seeing us beaten and water hosed and dogs put on us and half naked and Black women feeding babies that's not theirs and people treating them like garbage. And I know the history, but it does it just it hurts my heart. And yes, you're right. Omission is lying, and I just couldn't see myself just being a part of it just on a okay, it's February, let's talk about Black history. No, let's talk about it all the time. Let's talk about the great things that people, black people have brought to the table. But I just don't see it as a conversation that just should be had in February. You know, I guess Oprah Winfrey would be queen of Black History Month. Nothing against Oprah, but Oprah, if it wasn't for women like Madam C. Walker, I'm sorry, I may mess up her name, uh, there would be no Oprahs. Madam Walker was the first Black millionaire. How many people actually hear about that? You know, if I don't, it's just so much that needed to be talked about, should be talked about. And the only thing that we hear about, the only thing that they teach our children is about Malcolm. But they only teach them about Malcolm X. They're not going to tell them about Malcolm X. But we talk about Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks, and there was another woman before Rosa Parks, but Rosa gets all the credit. And I just don't think that's right. I think that we should be talking about more of the history. Yeah, I do. What about the doctor from Chicago who did the first successful open heart surgery? The man who created the refrigerator, the man who created the stoplight, the women who worked on the NASA program, who did the mathematics for them. Okay, they did a movie, and then you don't hear nothing else about them. What about our great educators? Yeah. What about all of that? Now, I know the big buzz these days is all about, the inequalities. I know about inequalities. Y'all have heard me talk about them. And unfortunately, the brutal deaths of black men and black women. I know about those too, and God bless their souls. But there were many that came before them that gave their lives for this country. Christmas at I can never say his name right, but Christmas Attuck, Attuck, first man to die in the Revolutionary War for this country in Boston was a black man. But these are not people that we talk about. This is not history that is shared. And so it pains me. And trust me, I wanted to all month to say something about Black history. I wanted to put up this and put up that because I'm proud. I'm proud of the history. I'm proud of most of the history. I'm proud, but you know what? I take that back. I'll even say I'm proud of those who overcame slavery while in slavery, those who were able to get their freedom, buy their freedom, or run for their freedoms and get it in whatever way they got it, and I'm proud of them. But I just don't think that should be our main focus is the negative sides of it. I think we should uplift the positive side of Black history. I think we should celebrate it. Not just, and I think we should celebrate it right along with all the other history. I don't. They had to build a African American history museum because a lot of our history was not shared in the rest of the Smithsonian's. We would see bits and pieces here and there. James, you're right. We need to put real history in school. You're absolutely right. I even put that up. Yeah, we need to put real history in school. Tell it like it is. Let our children make their own decisions themselves so that therefore they can make better decisions going forward. Huck, oh, what's that? The book Huck Finn. I mean, whichever book it is by Mark Twain. They want to take those out of the school. Are you kidding me? Really? You really want to take that out because it uses the words. And yes, I do not believe in that word. Y'all know I don't. I mean, I sh- I don't. I just don't. You know. Annette says, "Awesome. Truth needs to be taught. You must move forward to heal." This is very true. And people goes, "Well, this is over. This is old history. We should be past this. We should be over this by now." But we're not. We're living it every day. We see it every day. Unfortunately, I won't say the news has dialed it back because it hasn't. There's other sources out there of news, and if you check those other sources, you'll see things that are happening today that have been happening for years, but nobody talks about them. You have all these corporate people wanting to get on board with, hey, we need to fix this, and hey, we need to fix that, and let's make our companies better. But at the same time, you see very few people moving forward with trying to make those changes. All those changes are very superficial. You know, Biden nominated a black woman for the Supreme Court for the first time in history. That's history, but that's not just black history. That's all of our history. And quite frankly, we should all be celebrating that. And it shouldn't just be in February. I'm kind of offended that he did it in February. I wish he would have waited till next month. But he wanted, but in my humble opinion, he wanted to get it done before the end of Black History Month. It's things like that. I call them microaggressions. Just little things. But that's the reason I didn't. I didn't post anything. I didn't say anything about Black History Month because history The history of this country is all of ours, and it should be the things that have happened, the accomplishments that have taken place should be shared by all. Um, so that's why. James, you're right. As long as it's not taught, it's not over. Because you can't, people will repeat what they don't know. You can't stop doing something wrong if you don't know that it's wrong. You can't give people credit for being equal if you don't know that they're equal. You can't give anybody credit for bringing something to the table if you're not taught that they've brought things to the table. Yeah. You know, little things like crops and mathematics and science all came from out of Africa and migrated, and Black people taught these things to other people and they took them around the world. So it does. It pains me. It really does. Um, and you know what, James? When I see you, I see a man that is my friend as well. And that's how I try to see everybody. No, I take that back. That's how I see everybody until you show me something different. I take you for what you are, where you are, and how you are until you show me something different. And it's like our country is afraid to show something different. We all know, especially those of us over 50, we all know it's not just, it's not all square dancing and rap music, baby. It's not all popping bottles and drinking beer. We've had to go through some hard times to get to the good times or to the better times for some because some are still trying to get to the good times. But the less educated your community is, the chances of them repeating the woes of the past are greater. I love everybody. And maybe that's my problem. It's a good thing, it's a bad thing. Don't know, don't care. I know I love you. And I love you for who you are until you show me you really don't deserve it. And then I'll love you, but I'll love you from a distance. I don't hold anything against anybody just because of the color of their skin. I don't know how to hold a grudge. I'll be mad for about 37 seconds, then it's over. But at the same time, when certain things have to be put in my face to say, look, we're showing you this, look, we're showing you that. Ooh, this is what happened in your history. Ooh, this is what happened in your history. And all you're showing are the negative things that's happened in Black history. How the hell do you think people are going to react to us? You throw Martin Luther King out there every chance that you get. Fine. Dr. King, fine man, did what he do. He had his demons about him. We all got our demons about us, okay? I got demons. But Dr. King is not Black history. He is not all of Black history. And that's more that we need to know than just about him and what he did. What about all the people around him? He was just out front. It took a lot of people to help him to get where he got to. It wasn't all about him, but that's all they want to show us. What about Bessie Coleman, Wilma Rudolph? You know, what about the Black astronaut? What about the Black hockey player? Yeah. What about those? What about the black men and black women who cleaned the houses of people who were more fortunate than they were and took care of their children? You could trust them to take care of your children, but you can't talk about their history in a positive light. It just seems wrong. And I've heard all the jokes about Black History in February. Yeah, we gave them February so that they couldn't barbecue. Shit. Cold weather ain't stop nobody from barbecuing nothing. But they gave us the shortest month. So all that is irrelevant. It needs to be all year. It needs to be all inclusive. It needs to be shared freely. It needs to be out front and not lied about or not hidden or subverted. Because the truth of the matter is, if you really want the people not to know their history, put it in a book. There's thousands of books written, millions of books written that never been opened. And history upon history upon history. What happened here? I got a question for you. What happened to Native American History Month? Why is it not so widely celebrated? What about Hispanic History Month? You know, Hispanic American History Month. What they get? Come on, Chinese American History Month. Where is that at? Italian American History Month. Where is that at? So it needs to be all. Personally, I think they should get rid of Black History Month and teach our real history. Teach the pros of it. Teach the good of it. Yes, you got to talk about the negative, but what about the good, the great, the outstanding? What about the Black people in military history that helped form this country? Hell, a lot of people will not be here if it wasn't for the Tuskegee Airmen getting those bombers back without losing one. All those personnel on those bombers, they never lost one. What about heralding them? Only time they talk about the Tuskegee Airmen is when one of them dies. What about that? My daughter says beige people mainly care about their own history. But see, let me tell you this is that our history is their history and vice versa. Because many of them would not be here without us and vice versa. I have to agree. So that's why it needs to be all inclusive. Not just a book we read about or a TV special we watch in February. So that's the reason why. And I know I got one more day to go, and this I'm serious. It's burning my little fingers not to post something about it, about Black history. So I thought I'd just post this because this is about as much as I'm gonna post for Black history this month. I may post other things throughout the year, but February, no, not doing it. And critical race theory, bullshit, people, flat out. So that's it. That's all I got. I love y'all. God bless you.